And there we go. 3, 2, and 1. Well, Mayor Shane, welcome back to Mayor's Monday here at WSAU, WSAU.com. I am back. You are back as well. You can't scare me like this, though. I came back and I didn't hardly recognize the winter growth you got going on there.
Yeah, it comes in pretty quick. Kind of gray though. Every year it gets a little grayer. Eventually, I'll
Uh,
just play Santa Claus
I
and
think that's done
kind
that
of
to
fade
a lot
away.
of us this year here. I mean, especially with the way things have gone down there in Wisconsin Rapids. But it's not all been bad news this year. We're going to talk some holiday stuff a little bit here coming up. But first off, this is something that residents might be glad to hear about. You're changing the way some of your special assessments are going to be handled in the city, or at least you're looking into it here. Give us a kind of the quick overview of what that's all about.
Yeah, it's a very kind of a unique concept. There's very few communities that have something like this in place, but nobody likes special assessments, especially, the bills usually range in the thousands of dollars. And so we're looking at creating a utility where we'll all put in a fee. It's not a large fee, but it'll be, whether it be monthly or quarterly, and then we'll all kind of put into that fund that will be used in place of special assessment. Because they figure if you own a property in the city, that at some point during your ownership, you will end up seeing a special assessment. So we're looking to change how we do business and kind of smooth it out for everybody. And then internally, we don't have to design projects because of the concern for special assessments. So you're designing projects with that in mind, because you want to be as responsible, and we should always be responsible for funding, but you may design a project knowing to keep it as cheap as possible, and it may not be the best because you're concerned about the cost for the residents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you mentioned some of these special assessments. It's essentially it's kind of your share of maybe the curb and gutter for a certain project or
Correct.
things along those lines. And if you get hit with two of those in the span that you're owning your house, I mean, yeah, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars that you could be hit with in addition to the taxes that you're already paying.
Absolutely, and that's the problem, is that it's a kind of a surprise too. It's not something you can really plan for, because our street projects, we have an idea maybe a couple years out, but it's not like something you can save over a number of years to be ready for that expense. And like I was telling you prior to going on air, is that I've seen people with estimates over $30,000, and it's based on your frontage, how much frontage you have, and that's a very expensive bill, and it's almost to the point of being unreasonable.
Mm-hmm. And even if you do have 10, 15 years to pay it off, that's still a pretty
Thousands,
big chunk of your budget, and
absolutely.
something that you certainly have to plan for. And you don't want to throw that kind of a burden on residents.
No, I don't think it's fair either. And I've had a special assessment on one of my lots, and that's it's a surprise expense that most people aren't ready for or care to have.
So when do you think you could see some of this in action in Wisconsin Rapids? When are you looking to get this in by?
Boy, we're going to start working with consultants right away, and I'd really hope next year that we start seeing a finalized plan in place and get going.
So then give us an idea of who would be paying into this pot of money, if you will. Would this be something that might be a little bit of an addition to residents' tax bills, or is it something that all of the city utilities are going to be paying into?
So it would be all property owners be um, would pay into this, and it would be based more so on your usage or traffic usage, because the streets get broken down based on truck and vehicle traffic. And so the more traffic you have, you might have a little higher bill. And but I would think the residential would be very consistent from resident to resident.
Mm-hmm. And again, it would be maybe even breaking some of that up among all the residents instead of just those who have property along a stretch of a certain project at any given time. So you would be paying in, and then you'd be getting help from your neighbors as well.
Correct. Yep. We all kind of will burden the bear, or have to burden the cost for these street repairs. I may not live on that street, but there's a good chance I probably travel on it at some point.
Hmm.
And so it's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be looking forward to see where this goes. I'm very interested in this project because again, it sounds like something that a rare deal in government where it seems like everybody is going to win out of something like this because, like you said, it's just sharing that burden and taking that surprise away from residents.
Absolutely. And it's something that's not a very common practice. It's kind of a newer thing in the state, and we're looking forward to hopefully paving the way here and
Mhm.
taking part in that.
Absolutely. And coming up here in the next few weeks, of course, the Wisconsin Rapids Holiday Parade, traditionally kind of one of the first ones in the region. You'd usually have it, I believe it's the day before Thanksgiving, right? But this year, given the situation surrounding the virus, you've done something a little different. Could you tell us what's going to happen in Wisconsin Rapids for this year's parade?
Yeah, so our local Chamber of Commerce, Heart of Wisconsin, is the big promoter of this event. It's under the Rekindle the Spirit, but they've decided they came up with a really great idea. The ladies over there are very creative, and so they're going to kind of have a reverse parade. And so the parade or the floats or the vehicles or whatever it's going to be in that is going to be set up, and cars will drive through that parade, the setup, which will probably be down through our YMCA parking lot area. And so, yeah, and then they'll be able to participate by staying in their vehicles and drinking hot chocolate as they're driving around.
Mm.
And it's kind of a unique concept.
No candy, of course. No candy will be thrown. I'm guessing.
That'd be interesting to throw candy at cars driving by.
Yeah.
Probably not the safest thing.
See how good your aim is to try and get them into the open window. but
Exactly.
but it's you mentioned it. It's kind of your way of making sure that there is still something to start out the holiday season and kind of get everybody in that spirit and in that mood, even if this year it might be the last thing on people's minds, right?
Yeah, that's true. Because right now they're recommending that we don't participate in large family gatherings, but this is an opportunity for families to get together and be in their vehicles and participate in this. And it is going to be held on November 25th from 5:45 to 7:30, and it'll be in the downtown Wisconsin Rapids.
And any local businesses going to have any kind of specials or things like that, or curbside takeaway specials to go with that as well?
I have not heard of any.
Okay, well, maybe that's an idea that they're working on right now. You know,
They just came through our city council or through our approval process for it. So as it develops more, I'm very confident they'll be advertising it very well.
absolutely. And that's another great point though that I guess I brought up there, that the curbside takeaway, the call ahead ordering and things like that. That's something that we heard the governor last week emphasize even more. That he wants us to be distancing. He doesn't want the packed restaurants, doesn't want the packed bars. So that means that if you can get those takeout orders and make it a special meal night from a place like Jennings or somewhere else in downtown Rapids, I'm sure that's what you want residents to be doing right now.
Yeah, I can list off a lot of great meals that I have had takeout here in Wisconsin Rapids. Great fish fries. There's many places to support our restaurants and keep supporting them through this with their takeouts. It's a process that they have well refined, and I highly encourage it and support it. And you'll usually find me getting a carry out from somewhere on a Friday night.
Absolutely. And I mean, as we get closer to the holiday season as well, if you can find places downtown that'll have some sort of a unique gift or something made from Wisconsin for family members out of state. I know I've done that already. As I'm getting ready for that season, you want people to be doing more of that as well and doing it in a safe manner, be
Yep.
that through curbside delivery or delivery of some other sorts.
Yeah, we know our small businesses are the backbone of our community, and we have to help them endure what they're enduring and getting through this.
Then that kind of brings us into one more point here for today on our Mayor's Monday segment, talking with Shane Blaser of Wisconsin Rapids. And we did want to bring up as well that the Give me a correct term on the it's not a lockdown, but you don't want residents coming into public buildings in Wisconsin
So
Rapids.
yeah, we've kind of gone into a limited access. So
Limited access. There we go.
all of our services are still being provided, and I believe our county has been operating under this since this began. But we're not stopping any services. Our finance committee just recently voted, and it'll go to council on next Tuesday, that we're not going to have in-person tax collection at City Hall on third floor. It's going to be a drop-off box, and we'll mail receipts, because when we have tax collection up at our treasurer's office, it's packed. It's a packed lobby, and it's just probably not the most prudent thing to do right now. We're trying to. My big concern is for our employees and the health of our employees, and if we have employees out sick or quarantined, then we have to close those offices. And so by going to a limited access, we can still make sure the health and safety of our employees are there, and we can still provide all the services, whether it be over the phone, email. We can set up a meeting, and we can meet in a conference room if we really need to meet with somebody in person, but we're just trying to limit people just walking around City Hall.
Yeah, and you brought up a couple of great points in there as well. Doing business over the phone, doing business via email. So they're really, even if you're not tech savvy yet, but it might be hard for some people to believe, but here in 2020, there are still some people that like to do business on the internet or business online, or give their credit card information out that way. You can still accommodate everyone.
Absolutely, and we'll do everything to make sure that people are being taken care of, and we can do things by mail, whatever people are comfortable with. We're just trying to limit the people at City Hall and exposure.
All right. And is there anything else that you'd like to add then before we let you go today here, and let you go get ready for the parade coming up next week?
Well, I don't know. The most important holiday is gun season. So we have gun hunting coming up in a couple of weeks, which is a very, very enjoyable time of the year for me. I enjoy spending with family and friends, and I'll be in the woods for the week, and got my beard to keep me warm. And so everyone, as it's been a long tradition in Wisconsin, that gun season, and I hope everybody has a safe gun season and a successful one.
And the best part is, you don't have to have a whole lot of people around to have a successful gun hunt and to have a fun and safe.
Oh, absolutely. I'll be up in my deer stand with my heater on, all by myself, most likely. So I'll be distant.
It's the original social distancing, isn't it?
Exactly. And best nap time too.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you all the best. We wish you good luck. Hopefully we'll have some venison here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's great seeing you. I'm glad you're back, and we'll look forward to the next visit.